You don't need to be a fan of Agatha Christie's writing to appreciate her literary impact. A world-renowned author of 66 detective novels, 14 short story collections, and the record-breaking play The Mousetrap, her book sales exceed 2 billion copies, second only to the Bible and Shakespeare. And it was here in Torquay on the English Riviera that her amazing life story began. I've joined a Travel Editions weekend themed tour that delves deeper into that story. And where better to start than with a stroll along the prom on what's now known as the Agatha Christie Mile. Our base for the weekend, the Grand Hotel, marks one end of the Agatha Christie Mile, and the Torquay Museum is at the other. It was there I chatted with our tour manager Jane Tapley about Agatha's Torquay connections. This was actually your brainchild, wasn't it, this tour?
It was indeed, and I think it has to be located in Torquay because that's where Agatha was born, where she spent her idyllic childhood, and where she came frequently for 50 years.
Yes.
I mean, it really influenced her novels. They appear in 14 of them. They're based in the area in Devon. So really, the associations here in the town is very important.
Yes, and you've given us a wonderful lecture, giving us some context. But we're visiting all these places connected with her life.
Well, the Agatha Christie Mile was formed in 1990, 100 years after she was born. And you see the highlights: the pier where she roller skated, the cove where she swam, where the men from the yacht club looked down in their binoculars, and all the important places like the pavilion where her first husband Archie proposed to her.
Our Agatha Christie immersion continued with a trip to Greenway, the summer residence she bought with her second husband in 1938. Agatha described Greenway as the loveliest place in the world, and you can see why. It's got this amazing setting right here on the River Dart, 30 acres of woodland, and of course the beauty of the house itself. You can just imagine them gathering here for Christmases and summer holidays. Agatha's grandson Matthew donated Greenway to the National Trust, and they've maintained the family's personal artefacts along with the extensive collections of archaeological finds, china and, of course, books. Back at the Grand, over dinner we were invited to solve our very own murder mystery. The second day of our tour took us to another of Agatha's haunts, spectacular Aber Island. High winds restricted the use of the famous tractor that ferries guests across the bay, but we were still able to explore the island and enjoy a drink in the famous Pilchard Inn. Aber Island has a wonderfully restored 1930s Art Deco hotel, a place dear to Agatha's heart, of course, inspiring 2 of her novels. After a delicious lunch, time to reflect on the highlights of the weekend.
Aber Island is absolutely beautiful. It's what you would imagine it should be like. It's fabulous.
Lots of nice food, lots of lovely wine.
Yes,
and everybody's looked after us very well.
And Jane's been very good. She's really sorted it well,
Yes,
I think.
yes.
Well, I'm a great Agatha Christie fan anyway, but it has given me so much more insight into what prompted her to write her novels, the place that she lived, the life that she led. I could go home and read all her novels all over again.